Hello everybody, welcome back to Amazing Model Cars and the video that I have dreamt of making for years. We're going to review this 1/18 Lamborghini Aventador made by Autoart. Before we get into the review, I'd just like to mention that it came with a certificate of authenticity, which is a super cool feature to add to the car. I have serial number 663, so that's super cool. So now for the car. When we look at the front, you'll notice these aggressive looking lights, which Autoart has done beautifully. They are the big LED and then the kind of Y shape and all of the little LEDs right inside there. And when you move over a bit, you can see the Lamborghini badge, which is actually a separate piece made of metal, and it is very well done. When you come down here, you can see the intakes, and they are fully perforated, as I'll show you with a flashlight in a moment. And the splitter here is done quite nice, even though it's just made out of plastic. As you can see, when light is shown on the intake, you can see through the mesh and into the inside of the car. The hood lines up quite nicely with the rest, with just a small line, as there is on the real car. And the front of it has a very good profile. When we look at the side, you'll notice these big black wheels. When we look at the front wheel, you can see that the Lamborghini badge in the middle is done very nicely. The discs move through the calipers as they would on the real car, and it does say the Lamborghini very realistically on the brake caliper. When you look right here, you'll see the mirror, which is very nicely attached, and the door lines are done quite nicely. You'll notice another small intake right here, which is, again, fully perforated. Let's see if I could get that flashlight in there. It's kind of hard to see, but that is fully perforated. And there's another big intake right here, which should be easy to see, but I'll shine the light on it anyways. Fully perforated with the black accent around it. You'll also notice the LP700-4 down there, which is just a sticker. Actually, it's not a sticker, it's printed on, but it's very nicely done. Even the side reflectors are done beautifully on this car. When we come to the back again, you will notice these beautiful lights, just like on the real car. They're done beautifully. They have little arrows on them. And behind the clear plastic, all of the details are done very, very nice. The cursive Lamborghini on the back is made out of metal, and it feels very realistic. Listen to its LP700-4, and you can see that the exhaust is 4 exhausts, and the diffuser is done quite nice. There are then more intakes, which are very easy to see that they're fully perforated as well, and they look very nice on this car. The last thing I'm going to show you on the back is the spoiler. And the spoiler, you get your nail in there, pull up, and that's how the spoiler would be if the car was braking. In real life, it comes up to produce braking power, and then at very high speeds, it slides back more to help with aerodynamic purposes. It looks very nice, I must say. The mechanism is done very nicely as well. Now we will look at the trunk, and you would think you would just flip the car upside down, but this is a very expensive and nice model, so I recommend, instead of flipping it upside down, right along the windshield here, you can slide your nail in and get it to pop up a bit on both sides. You want to get around to, if you have a more stubborn side, go to that one. On mine, the right side is the more stubborn one, and then it just comes right open. You'll see as it's opening that it has a very realistic hinge mechanism, just like on the real car, and the hood slides up and forwards at the same time. As you can see, the hood has not only gone up, but forwards as well. Then when you look in the actual trunk, not much to see, but it is lined with felt, just like my Gallardo Superleggera, made by Autoart. And it just looks very nice, and it's kind of hard to do trunks and make them look nice on supercars because they're such a small feature, but Autoart does an amazing job with making every aspect of their car as perfect as can be. The engine bonnet at the back is the same story. The opening mechanism, I just like to slide my fingers in this glass area. It says not to do that, but I do it anyways. And then it slides up and forwards with the hydraulic hinge mechanism. Although the engine bonnet comes all the way up to here, it only holds itself up to there. So that isn't the full way, but it's still good enough to see inside. So let's take a look at the engine. When you look at the engine, you can see it's beautiful. The carbon fiber on the engine block is done amazing, along with the crossbars to hold it in place. The suspension on the car actually does work. I don't know if you can see it, but it is moving. And it says V12 right there, and the firing order of the pistons. And this mesh right here is also fully perforated, and you can see so many details through there. You can also see the locking mechanism for the engine bonnet. Now for the interior, these doors are not like regular Lamborghini Aventador doors where you would just pull up, because they have a knack for not wanting to stay up and falling back down. So on the Autoart, what they did is the door handle actually slides forwards, and if you slide it forwards and you can get the door out a bit so that the window doesn't get caught on the roof, the door lifts itself up by this little hydraulic right there, a little silver bar. And it does it on the passenger side too. I'll show you that in a bit. But let's take a look on the driver's side. You can see so many little details inside the car. The steering wheel is done beautifully. And although the floor is not all felt, it's even more realistic. The sides right by the console are felt like the real car, but then it has rubber for the floor mats, which is super duper realistic. The seats are done beautifully, just as well as the center console, which has a bunch of little buttons and dials that make it very realistic. And then there is the display screen, which has a speedometer at 0, because this car is stationary. When you look in the passenger side, it again has rubber and felt for the floor mat and the carpeted areas. And the dashboard looks very nice. You can see Aventador on the door sill right down there. And again, a little hinge that lifts the door up and down. If you are looking into buying this car, do not do what I just did. Do not put it down by the window because you will get finger marks. Push right above the door handle, and it locks right back into its place. So, now let's give it a score. So, as a car, I would give it probably A+ because there is nothing wrong with it. It is completely flawless. But then when you factor in, I actually got a great deal on this, and I only paid $212 for the car and shipping. And that is just a great deal, and it is a beautiful car. So many things come with it. There's a little brochure, which I will show in a collection video later, and it is just an amazing car. And I'd just probably knock it down to an A- because it is very, very expensive. It is not a starter car if you're just starting a collection. This you keep in a display case and you don't move it. I'll show you my display case right now just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I have this plexiglass case that you grasp onto the outside and pull, and that slides off. And then you can simply take your car and put it in the case and display it however you want. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next week on Amazing Model Cars, and have an amazing spring break, everybody. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.